Hey fellow creatives, Khan here, and today I wanted to answer to a question that a lot of you probably have. Which camera should you actually buy in 2020? You're finally able to save up for the brand new camera. The real question is, which one should you get? So you start looking Google and typing in, which camera should I buy in 2020? And you see a lot of reviews about Canons, about Sonys. Some even say that you need to buy a Nikon. Nah, just kidding, nobody says that. And people switching from Sony to Canon and the other way around. And they talk about all these kind of specs and all these kind of features that those cameras have. But the real question is, what do you really need? What really suits your photography or videography style? What kind of clients do we have? What kind of photos do you want to actually take? As they say in life, there's no one size fits all. And this is also true for photo and videographers. Let's say that the new Canon R5 is perfect for a stills photographer. But me, I'm a hybrid shooter, so I want to shoot videos and photos. And that could possibly mean that the Canon R5 might not be working for me and that I probably need a Sony or something else. I started out with the Canon 800D or Rebel T7i, and I really liked the menu system and the ergonomics of the camera because a friend of me had a Sony a7R III, I think, and I tried it for once and I really didn't like the ergonomics or the menu system. This doesn't mean that the Sony a7 III isn't that good at all. It's actually a very, very good camera and probably better than the EOS R. But the fact that I didn't like the menus and the ergonomics and that Canon came out with new RF glass that I'm using right now convinced me to stay with Canon. At the end of the day, it's not only about the specs. It's not about how many megapixels your camera have, not about how many frames per second your camera can shoot. If your camera can shoot in 1080p or 4K or even 8K, it's about how much fun do you have using your camera. And let me tell you guys, it's really not about the specs, because me, for example, it's quite weird to say this, but I was really an Apple hater. And why, you may ask? Because I think that Apple has really good products, but they are so overpriced and you really have to pay a premium just to get that Apple logo on your products. But to be honest, I recently bought a MacBook Pro 16-inch myself, and I'm really happy with it. Before, I've always had Windows PCs, and to be honest, they were also bugging or lagging or overheating or I don't know what. And I'm not really sure if I'd ever go for a PC again, even though you can get the same specs or even better specs at a lower price point. Let's say I went with the Sony a while ago and that I didn't buy my Canon EOS R, but that I couldn't get used to the ergonomics and the menu system, and that after 3 months or something I stopped using my camera, then that would be really awful. I'm really exaggerating right now, but you get the point. Then I would have been stuck with an extremely good camera that I didn't like using and I didn't have fun with. And that's one of the main reasons that I like photo and videography so much. It gives me a reason to strive for in my life. So if you consider buying a new camera, start looking in the mirror first and think about, what do you really need in a camera? What do you really want? With a friend or another photographer, and maybe you can meet with them to try out the camera and see how it feels like, how easy it is to use, what the quality of the images and the videos are, and also check out some reviews because they could be really useful. But make sure to don't overload yourself with a lot of information. And also be aware that some of the people with some influence on the internet, such as big YouTubers, could be sponsored and ambassadors of certain camera brands. So take that into consideration before you think, Peter McKinnon has a Canon R5, so that would possibly be the best camera ever, because he's an ambassador. But I do respect him for saying that in his videos though. Even though, let's say, you're a fan of Canon, but Sony is really the big deal right now and they have better specs and it suits you better, and you haven't invested a lot of money in RF glass, let's say for example, then really just go with Sony. If you think this video was valuable, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more content like this in the future. Creators, peace!